Yeah, all right, let's just get into a little bit of MMA news. So obviously we did get a big main event announced for July 16th and June 25th. Let's get into July 16th first. We have Brian Ortega versus Yair Rodriguez has been announced for the main event of that fight night card. I mean, this is what we were kind of calling for. Remember this? We had the Yair Rodriguez Max Holloway matchup. Absolutely fantastic 5-round matchup there. Yair Rodriguez did fall short in that matchup. And then Brian Ortega, was his last fight Volkov?
Brian Ortega's last fight
Volkanovski?
was Volkanovski, yep.
Yeah, and he got his, I mean, I'm just going to say he got completely outclassed there in the last few rounds. But that's, it was a good fucking fight.
He looked good, man.
I mean,
it would have been anyone else, he would have pulled off either one of those two submissions in that fourth round. That fourth round was probably the most entertaining round in the sport that year.
Yeah, and I think Brian Ortega has solidified himself as one of the toughest guys in the division, period.
Yes.
Period.
Definitely.
So this is a matchup that I'm very, very excited for. Like, how do we see the striking aspects? Because we always talked about how good Brian Ortega's jiu-jitsu is and how he was just the greatest jiu-jitsu fighter we've seen in the featherweight division in a very long time. And then all of a sudden he comes out in that Korean Zombie matchup and just completely evolved his striking game and looked like a new Brian Ortega. Like, how does that Brian Ortega stack up against Yair Rodriguez?
Bro, I got to be honest with you. I mean, you know, it's pretty early to be breaking down this fight, but if Brian Ortega gets this to the mats, it is over.
Yeah.
It is over. And, like, yes, Brian Ortega has evolved. He's Brian Ortega 2.0. He looks great in striking, and, you know, I respect that, and I think it's awesome. I think he is constantly evolving as a fighter and getting better as an overall mixed martial artist. However, you also need to have strategy going into a fight like this, and say what you will, but Yair Rodriguez is extremely dangerous in the striking department. If I was Brian Ortega, my first line of action would be, you know, maybe a couple strikes, whatever, but then shoot for that takedown immediately. Try to get Yair's back and try to get out of there without very much damage, because Yair can really mess you up.
Yeah,
that's how I see it. So I think Ortega will win that fight. I really believe that if Ortega takes it to the mats.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very difficult for Brian Ortega to try to outstrike Yair Rodriguez, but I think he could do it because, I mean, we saw. I think he could. It's just it's going to be one of those matchups like. He looks like he's getting beat up, but he's winning the fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be very tightly contested. Like, Yair was beating the shit out of Max there for a bit, but he just wasn't doing enough to win the rounds. Well, could that be the case again against Brian?
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about as far as, like, Yair even striking with Max Holloway when Max Holloway pieced apart Brian Ortega. Yes, that was Ortega of, like, 2018-19. It was a different guy. But still, man, I just don't like Ortega trying to stand and bang with one of the best strikers in this featherweight division.
Yeah. But is he going to want to do it?
Maybe. Maybe. But it's not the best strategy. It's not the best strategy. I would not be doing it. I would try to submit him immediately. But
yeah. AJ Wolf is saying, is Yair's takedown defense bad? I don't think so.
No, it's definitely not bad. No, I mean, you don't become an elite striker with bad takedown defense. You know, he's definitely got decent takedowns. Defense, but I mean, we're just going to see when that fight happens. But I am very excited for that matchup.
I'm more interested to see how Brian Ortega's wrestling goes in that matchup. Like, is he good enough to get him down to the mat immediately, or does he try to do like an old school way of just taking his back? Yeah, like maybe riding him like a backpack or something like that. Because if Brian Ortega, like if this man had like legitimate takedown threats. Like, he had a fantastic single leg, he had a good double leg, something like that. If he had really, really good clinch work to get, and if he was, like, just consistently taking dudes down with wrestling aspects and in the clinch, he would be one of the most dangerous guys in the division. He already is. I mean, he's number 2 in the world behind Max Holloway right now, so it's just interesting. If he can get that wrestling aspect just a little bit better, Brian Ortega, future champion, when Volkanovski leaves, I think. Yeah. I'm very excited for Volkanovski versus Max, though.
Yeah, it'll be a great fight. I mean, it will be a good fight. Yeah, but when is that slated for?
I think it's UFC 277 or 278, something like that. I can't remember. It's on a fucking ridiculously stacked card, and I'm very excited for that one.